Jack Johnson was a black man back when white people lynched Negroes on weekends. They would send him letters saying, "You fighting a white man, and if you knock him out, we'll kill you."
I believe that racism is a heart issue, that it's something that comes from an individual's heart, not a system, because it's man who creates systems. Don't let anyone determine for you, just because of the color of your skin, what you can and cannot do. Now, way before the civil rights movement of '64, there was a man named Jack Johnson, was born in the late 1800s, I think somewhere around 1870. And he proved that this whole race barrier, race color line thing was just a thing of a person's mind, because of what he did was he broke that barrier. He dispelled any kind of belief that because of the color of your skin, you can't, that you're held back from doing anything that you choose to do.
Born in 1878, Jack grew up in Galveston, Texas, in a racially tolerant neighborhood. While Galveston may have been an oasis of tolerance, the rest of the world was decidedly not. Jack Johnson was bold enough to attempt to declare his personal independence in a world defined by race.
I see him as a product of standing tall for your beliefs in yourself as an individual with talent, skill, using what you have to the best of your ability. No matter your environment and no matter your obstacles, you can do it. Check this out.
Jack started taking part in events called battle royales. These were contests where several black men were blindfolded and made to fight while the crowds drank and cheered. Jack builds enough of a reputation blindfolded that eventually he starts taking and winning regular boxing matches. The discrimination against black heavyweights ran deep until Jack Johnson got too good and too loud to simply ignore. Tommy defended his championship 11 times before finally agreeing to fight Jack after he purchased ringside seats and started taunting Tommy during his fights. The fight eventually found a home in Sydney, Australia.
With the understanding that if it got out of hand, the local constabulary would come in and stop the fight.
The moment Jack Johnson finally comes to grips with the white champion, he smiles a gold-toothed grin at the crowd. Every Jack Johnson fight was in front of mostly white crowds that showered him in racial slurs and threats of violence. Johnson smiled through it.
Within a few seconds, Burns was on the floor. Burns got up and was knocked down again.
The film is stopped by local police the moment Tommy is about to hit the floor. For the first time in history, it was unquestionable who was the best fighter in boxing. Despite the occasional arrests, Jack Johnson was the freest black man in America. He did what he wanted, and the white world hated him for it. He lived a lavish lifestyle of cars, clothes, and had his own ideas on what race relations should entail. Jack Johnson is credited with desegregating more brothels than any man in America. He opened 2 mixed-race nightclubs, and he married 3 women, all of them white. The establishment was so thoroughly offended by Johnson's conduct that calls grew in the press for the retired, though still undefeated, Jim Jeffries to return and put Jack in his place. When Jeffries agreed, the public was whipped into a frenzy by the event that came to be called the Fight of the Century.
Jeffrey somehow found the will to keep moving forward. But Johnson's sharp, accurate punches were taking a devastating toll. Jeffrey's side called it quits.
The U.S. government began to look at Jack Johnson for violating the Mann Act, a law made to prevent the trafficking of prostitutes and broadly enough to be used against anyone the authorities felt like deserved it. The words immoral purposes get applied anytime Jack leaves a state with his own wife in the passenger seat. He was found guilty by an all-white jury and sentenced to a year and a day. Jack skipped bail and flew to France. In Paris, the champion in exile is still defending his title. In 1914, he takes Frank Moran to a clear 20-round decision.